Well, hello, we are live on two different devices today. I'm very excited to be doing our simulcast. Isn't that what they officially call it? Come on in, let's have a chat and talk about all of your questions. We're going to get all your questions answered today. So making sure we are live. Yeah, okay, so we are live on Instagram. I just want to check that we are. And live here now on the Facebook. I hate it when this happens because you want to make sure everything is working, but I'm not sure if it is live. Let me just double check. Sorry, I'm going to go and check it again because I promised live on both. Here we go. Okay, so waiting for you to come in and join me, and I want to make sure that I can see questions. Yes, beautiful. All right. So if you have any questions, I want to make sure that I can see them. So I'm opening up my computer because sometimes the comments don't come live here. I've also been sent some questions for our Q&A today from quite a few of our ladies who can't make it live, and that's fine. So just waiting for you to come on board. So I'd love to know where in the world you're coming from. Do give us I'll give you a shout out. I want to know where you're coming from in the world. Say hello. Happily give you a little shout out. Let's get to know you. And then let's get this party started. We have a few questions coming in, as I said. I can see people joining us live now on Facebook here, as well as on the Insta. So if you have any specific questions about our program, our Sexy Strong program, if you have any questions about injuries, any questions about style of eating, understanding what to eat for weight loss or fat loss, anything like that, we will 100% answer those today. We are here till the end to make sure your questions are answered. So I can see on Insta here we have quite a few ladies. I see a Sarah. You're welcome, Sarah. I see Molly. You're most welcome. I see Alexander as well. Come on in. There's quite a few of you. I can see a Jessica. Jessica, you're most welcome. Do let us know that you're on live. I would love to know where in the world you're coming from today till we get your questions answered. So I've made some notes of some questions that ladies have emailed me, and I want to make sure I get them covered for you today. Yeah? Yeah, beautiful. All right, let's get started with that first one. So the first question I was asked specifically about age, right? I am 60. Can I still do this program? Can I still do kettlebell training? So first of all, hello, you're only 60. I want you to reframe that in your mind, right? 60, age is literally just a number in terms of being able to do anything, right? But what it comes down to more is, do you have any sort of injuries? Do you have any sort of mobility issues, etc.? And generally, our rule of thumb is if you've been passed by your physio or your doctor to exercise, you can do this form of training. What's really excited about how we teach our kettlebell training is that we teach it to build progressively. So there's progressive overload in terms of the time that you spend, adding the weights, doing things starting from just 4 minutes a day, building up to 6, building up to 8, building up to 10. So rather than doing an hour-long workout where you're just killing yourselves, which is not what we want for you, we want for you to be able to feel like you are getting more confident, feel like you're getting stronger, feel like you're getting fitter, but without feeling like a failure or you're out of shape or you're not strong enough, right? And the only way that you can do that is understanding progressive overload, which is about building it up and building up a consistent workout habit. Most of us don't have a habit to train, right? We occasionally do some exercise. That's the different mindset shift. So we're trying to shift your mindset from occasionally doing some exercise to building a consistent training habit. Because as warrior goddesses, we eat and train, we don't diet and exercise. So unless you have some specific injury that we maybe need to work around, anybody at any age can do our programs. We will 100% help you to build up that confidence and that training habit. So I hope that helped to answer that question. That question was from Sarah. Sarah had asked that question. Okay, do we have any other questions live? Or I have more here that I'm happy to answer. But if you are on live, do comment below. Let us know where in the world you're coming from. I see Lorna is on live. You're most welcome. So if you have any questions, let us know where in the world you're coming from or what questions you have, whether it be about our Sexy Strong program, whether you want to know about the difference between eating for fat loss and eating for healthy reasons, if you want to know about carb cycling, if you want to know about intermittent fasting, if you want to know about keto, any of these sorts of things, ask away. We've got, you've got me now. You might as well ask some questions. So, just so you know, for the ladies on Facebook, I'm also talking to people on Instagram. So if I'm looking over here, it's the Instagrammers I'm talking to, and if I'm over here, I'm talking to you guys, right? So I have another question that I'm going to answer that we have from because I got people to send me some information. So the second most question I get, other than age related and maybe injury related, is also, how do I lose fat from my stomach? So I'm going to also answer that question today. Okay, so we were asked that question by, let me check here in my notes, who asked that question. Oh, there it is. Okay, so Sydney asked that question, and Sydney wants to know, how do you lose weight off your stomach? So here's the thing. You cannot spot reduce fat. What that means is you can't say to your body, right, I just need you to lose this bit of fat under this arm or this belly, right? So when you see people saying, do this exercise to flatten your tummy, it's a lie. It's 100% a lie to hook you in. So the process by which you need to burn fat through exercise and build muscle is two different things, right? So you can increase muscle. You can increase muscle on a specific muscle. So you can do a workout that builds the muscle of your tricep. You can do a muscle that builds a workout that builds the muscles of your glutes, which are your butt, but you can't say, well, I want the fat taken off there. So let's take it all the way back to answer this question and tell you about this thing called body shape change. So most of us, when we want to lose weight or tone up, now I'm using these quotes because I don't really like either of those phrases, but when we, right, do the weight loss, or we try to tone up, what we're actually trying to do is change the body composition of our body, right? So I'll use my arm now. I'm wearing a longer top today, but let's assume that you can see my arm underneath this top. So what you have here is a bone, right? Over the top of the bone, you have muscle, and you have your tendons and all that sort of stuff. Then you have a layer of fat. Then you have your skin. Now, most people think that they can just tone a muscle. If I just tone this muscle, it will look toned, right? This is not the case. You cannot tone a muscle. You also can't turn fat into muscle. So the only thing you can do is either build the muscle or not. Or you can burn off that layer of fat or not. So most of us get this confused because we go, I just want to look smaller, right? Or weight loss, which weight loss is just, I am a big mass and I want to be a smaller mass, which is measured on the scale, but it never comes off where you want it to, and it's completely indiscriminate, right? You end up with hollow cheeks, or we've all lost some boobs in the pursuit of weight loss, right? So when it comes to toning a muscle, right, if you can see that, so you've got that, so you've got muscle, you can't tone it. You're either building lean muscle or you're not, and you're either burning off the fat or you're not, right? So you can then try to just reduce your size or reduce your mass through weight loss, but that will also take the muscle with it, and that can also just lead to you having excess skin. So when people say that they want to tone up, it's not a verb. I can't tone anything. You can't tone a muscle. You can't tone an arm. What you can do is increase the muscle and reduce the fat, which will leave the body looking toned, I suppose, or what we like to say is lean or tight looking, right? So you're more tight. You're de-wobbling that area. Yeah? So So when it comes to losing fat, or losing fat of your belly, for example, you need a body shape change program. You need to change the composition of your body. So you need to focus on building lean muscle whilst losing fat at the same time. Here's the kicker. To build muscle is a different sort of training and a different sort of eating than burning fat. Burning fat is a different sort of training or exercise or workouts. And burning fat or eating for fat loss is also a different mode of eating. So most of us don't think of it that way, right? We just think, I just want to tone up a bit. I just want to lose a bit of weight. Now here's the thing. You would not be paying attention to someone talking about Warrior Goddess Kettlebell training if you just wanted to lose a bit of weight. You'd be going off to, Slimming World or Weight Watchers or something like that. What you are looking for is significant and sustainable body composition change, body shape change, which is all about muscle and fat and changing those two proportions within your body. But you have to understand that they're two different processes, right? You need to build lean muscle and lose fat. So when somebody says, I'm going to do crunches to lose my fat around my midsection, what's actually happening is you're building the muscle there. You're building the muscle in that area, and that's actually going to, yes, strengthen your core. Yes, going to help you to be stronger and able to do more workouts, but it's not burning the fat. You need to do fat burning style training and eat for fat loss to match with that. Does that make sense? So it's not the answer of, just do this workout and eat pears and suddenly you'll be, right? So if you ever see a message like that on social media, they are lying. No offense, but it's true, right? You need to understand the process between body shape change, which is changing the composition of fat and muscle within your body to achieve that sculpted superhero body, as I like to call it, or building out muscle curves or MERVs, right? Okay, Beth is on. Hi, Beth. Love to know where you're from. She wants to know, are there more lives available for the masterclass for the 3 secrets? Yes, we have one tomorrow at 7 p.m. GMT, which I think is about 3 p.m. New York time. Don't know where you are in the world. And then we have our final one on Wednesday, which is 4 p.m. GMT, which is UK time, which I think is about 12 p.m. New York time. You're about 4 hours difference right now for Eastern Standard Time. You can go to warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/superhero. There is a limited time replay that you can have access to for, it'll only have access until Wednesday and then it's gone, right? So it's only for a couple of days. So yeah, there's still time to sign up. There's still some spaces available. Go to warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/superhero and you can grab either one of those. So hopefully those times work for you. Do you have any sort of Q&A questions regarding body shape change, regarding kettlebell training, regarding injuries, regarding what you should be eating for fat loss? Happily answer any of those. Just checking in case I'm missing any questions. Okay, got another question that I had from a lady called Leah that I'm going to answer. And Leah had asked about what size kettlebells should I use to start with? And I want to talk about the differences with kettlebell training, right? So the key thing I want you to understand with kettlebell training, ladies, is that it is not like training with dumbbells. Oh, hello, is it Giola? I'm going to talk to you about eating for fat loss for sure. Right, let's talk about that. So, kettlebell training is not like training with dumbbells, right? And it's not like training with barbells. It's completely different. What you need to understand is that kettlebells is in itself a gym with the handle. The movements that we do with kettlebells incorporate so many different muscles, up to 600 different muscles, and all the major muscle groups that you don't need to do. We don't do isolation based work. What that means is we don't necessarily, though I throw a couple in because I like them, work specific muscles. How this works is it works the whole of the body. You're literally doing key movements like muscle movements. You're doing full body compound movements. Sorry, something beeped on my computer and I have no idea what it is. Oh, I know what it is. It's a Pure Chat thing. Okay, so okay, beautiful. I'm gonna close it down so it doesn't beep. Too many things beeping. So it's not like you need a full set of dumbbells and barbell, a bench and all of these things to have a home gym. The kettlebell itself is a gym with a handle. So when it comes to doing a workout, you only need one. And in some of ours, I say up to 3, right? So if you're starting out, what are the ones to purchase? Now, this is the other thing. Women are a lot more stronger than they think, and they're a little bit more cautious, aka terrified, of using heavier weights, right? Because we're not used to certain motions and we're just a little bit more nervous and afraid. And I get it. But the key thing about kettlebell training is it uses our most powerful motion, which is the hip hinge. Now, I cover this in full detail on a blog post, which I'll post here underneath this video, which if you click the link in my bio, you can access our blog for sure. And in it, I want you to understand that the hip hinge, which is our glutes and uses our glutes and our hips and our hamstrings and our quads, this is where we're stronger pound for pound than any man, right? As a woman, we're strongest here. So this is why kettlebell training works so well for women, because we can really harness the power of a weight to get the results that we want, especially in the areas that we want, which is the core, the bum, the thighs, okay? So you only need a couple of bells, right? And then you need to just work on the hip hinge. You just need to work on that hip hinge. So to start off with, we say an 8 kilo, which is a 15-pound bell for my ladies in the US and Canada. And though you can also then get maybe a slightly smaller bell to do upper body work. If you have a little bit of experience or have done some bodybuilding style movement or a little bit stronger there, we definitely recommend you could start with a 12 kilo, which is closer to a 30-pound bell. Okay, all of this is covered in my guide, What Size Do You Use? But I think it's really important that you understand that, you know, at the very most, you'll only ever own 5 or 6 kettlebells, right? At the very most. It's not, you don't need a full home gym equipment, right? And even then, you know, the goal is to be able to get to do all of our major foundational moves first with that 8 kilo, right? That's going to take you 3 months easily. Then you want to be able to do all of those moves with a 12 kilo, which maybe takes you 6 months. Then you want to be able to get to doing all of those moves with a 16 kilo, believe it or not, which will probably take you about a year, right? Based on our programs and how we've created them. So that's 3 bells. So it's not about hundreds of bells. It's not about being worried and pulling back on weights or things like that. It's really important for you to understand that you are stronger than you think, and you need to just understand how kettlebell training works, and I will 100% share that blog post for you, which goes into exactly what sizes you need, why we suggest what we suggest, and how you can go and buy your first kettlebell in places where we can source them. But the most important and exciting thing to know is, 1, that's really cost effective. 2, they're really small. They can fit under a bed, behind a door, that sort of thing. It doesn't take up a lot of space. You just need a yoga mat, couple of bells, boom, done. That's why I love kettlebells. Okay, Holly asks, hey Holly, in the program, is eating plant-based on macros? So Holly, what program? Are we talking about the Sexy Strong program? So all of our programs are based on macros, right? So how do I answer this question? All of our programs, so how we've created it, that's the better way to describe it, is the Sexy Strong program encompasses a 6-week challenge part at the beginning and then 4 phases of our VIP program. In the first 6 weeks, we wanted to take you through a process where we introduced you to understanding carb cycling, right? And understanding adding more plants, what we call being plant focused, to your plate. We also wanted to make it easier for you to understand those, so we provide meal plans that are already calorie and macro calculated as part of our 7-day carb cycle, which takes account of your carbs, your proteins, and your fats, right? So we make it super easy, super easy, but you know, it's still a difficult plan. Super simple, let's say that. It's not easy to follow. We're going to be honest, it's a challenge. It's about you building loads of different things, but it's super simple to follow. It's literally eat this, do this. And we did this in this way because we want you to build a training habit, and we want you to build a eating for fat loss habit, right? And understanding the difference. So, an eating habit. I teach women how to eat. That's my goal in life. So in those first 6 weeks where there's a lot of information and you're learning a load of new things, we didn't want to also make it more complicated with introducing you to your TD calculation, how to, track your macros, how to work out your macro splits for each day, how to create all that. That said, you will do that in the phase 1 in our VIP as you progress. So once you've done that initial 6 weeks, then you move into the phase 1. That's where we teach you that. So answering your question, yes, it is based on macros. We do it for you in the first 6 weeks, and then we empower you so that you learn how to do it for yourself, and then start to understand tracking with MyFitnessPal, working out your macro splits, understanding the importance of getting enough protein, carbs, and food timing as well. So I hope that helps, right? So we wanted to make it simple. We wanted to make it doable. So what we do first of all is give you the eating plan. Here's the eating plan, here's the training plan. While you learn, while you experience, while you build those habits. Because here, if you're not active at the moment and you haven't eaten in this sort of way and you've never viewed food in this sort of way, it can be quite overwhelming, right? And it can be really quite intense. So the first 6 weeks, we wanted to make it simple. Do this, eat this, while you're learning what it means to carb cycle and track and notice your macros. And then we also want to teach you the importance of eating more plants so that you're adding more fiber to for your gut health, so that you are helping your water weight issues, your hormone imbalance issues, all of that sort of stuff, so that then you have you have the habits, you have the excitement, you have the results, because boy, do you get amazing results in those first 6 weeks. You're about to see the results of our 6-week Transformation Unicorn Challenge over the next 2 days. Ladies are just going and getting all their measurements done, which is really exciting. So you'll see that. So hope that answered your question, Holly. And Giola said, eating for fat loss. So let me answer this. So eating for fat loss is different than eating healthy. And just as Holly pointed out in her question, eating plan based on macros. So not all calories are created equal. You've heard of that phrase. It's kind of misinterpreted, right? What we need to understand is not all calories are created equal for their purpose. And that's the bit that's missing. So what we teach you is eating the right thing at the right time for the right reason, right? And if the reason is sometimes you're doing it to burn fat and to tap into existing glycogen stores so that you're more efficient with your fat burning, sometimes you're eating to build lean muscle, which is what's going to change your body shape and change that body composition, and you need to know the difference, which is why we use a 7-day carb cycle, and we understand the difference of the macros during that time. So the macronutrient content of your food becomes really important, and your macronutrients are carbs, proteins, and fats, right? So carbs, proteins, and fats are your 3 macronutrients. Sorry, I was trying to read the question at the same time as answering. So carbs, proteins, and fats. So each of them has a purpose. So when you eat for fat loss, you know that proteins are about maintaining and building your muscle. Carbs are for fueling the muscle gains and feeding the gains of the muscle and to recharge you to be able to have energy to do your workouts. And then the third one is fats, which is all about absorbing the key micronutrients in your phytonutrients that are in your plants and in your fruits and your veg, etc., which look after your gut health, which look after all your organ health, which keep your immune system going so that you have the energy to do your training and to do that. Can you see how all they play in? So it's really important to find the balance that works for you and your body when fat loss is your goal, right? Because fat loss is a goal, but you also want to lose fat in the way that you still have muscle curves. So sometimes you're going to be eating to build that lovely lean muscle, which boosts your base metabolic rate, which in turn is going to make you burn more fat, right? Once you have a higher composition of muscle to fat in your body is more efficient at burning fat and keeping you lean, right? So that it's efficient with regards to that. Now, in order to keep and boost your metabolism, there's 3 major things. You need to eat, you need to train, and you also need to do what we call NEAT movement, which is non-exercise related thermo movements. I don't know what, I need to look up what NEAT stands for. I keep saying it and then not know what the acronym stands for. But it's basically, you know, the walking up the stairs, the going for smaller walks, the non-exercise based movement that will keep your metabolism moving along. Okay? Are the meals simple instead of time-consuming recipes? Yes, Holly. So here's what I describe as simple. Again, when you're doing something new, the first time you make things, it takes time, 100%. But how we've set up these recipes is that you batch them. So you would be making your batching and doing some, you know, cooking at the weekend for 2 to 3 days ahead. So a lot of the food can be refrigerated and or frozen, right? But you are making all of the food from scratch. Now, I wouldn't recommend making all of the food from scratch all day, every day, because if you do that, then it's time consuming. So what we say in our program is that if you give us 1 hour per day, that should cover everything. That's your workout, that's your eating, that's your self-care time and food prep. Now, if you're doing your food prep every single day and your workouts and whatever, then it'll take longer than an hour. If you spend part of your 1 hour per day on like a Sunday, when you're not doing a workout, for example, and meal prep, everything from chopping up some veggies to making some egg muffins, which can be stored, making your certain, we've got coconut, chicken coconut burgers. If you're plant-based, we have salads that you can pre-cook the quinoa, or you can pre-cook rice and have it ready. You can have lentils ready, all of these sorts of things, yeah? So the recipes themselves are all under 30 minutes. I think most of them are about 20 minutes, 15 minutes. If you're not super like whiz at the kitchen, they're also really easy, but you have to just get your head around them, right? There is also a guide that if you wanted to use your own recipes, you can make it work at that in those first initial 6 weeks. But what we're trying to do is introduce you to some food that you probably haven't tried before. We do have a full recipes for meat eaters, vegetarians and vegans, and the vegan and vegetarians are created by a vegan vegetarian. That was me, you know. I was a vegan for over 2 years. I've been a vegetarian for nearly 30 years. And then the meat eaters were, obviously, I had to test these out on my meat eater clients, but every single one of them, here's an interesting fact for you. The meat eater recipes are apparently so good that my clients who did their 6-week challenge and have now been with me for 9 months are still eating those recipes because they love them so much, and they're family friendly, right? They're your 8-year-olds, their 7-year-olds are eating them, etc., etc. Okay? And if your family doesn't eat like that, then this is a good way to introduce that to them, right? It's a good way to introduce that to them. So they're not time consuming. But the other thing is we give you a prep week, and during your prep week, as part of the 6-week challenge, you have enough time to go and test these things out, right? So, you know, for example, our smoothies, our prudies as they're called, take you 5 minutes, but you can also save time and shave off time by pre-preparing the little smoothie bags in your freezer, which we recommend you do, and I have a little video for that, where you put everything into a little baggie, so all you have to do is lift it out the next day, right? That's a meal done in literally 5 minutes, not even. And it's the same with your lunch. You have the main component that can be reheated, and then you're just adding loads of green veggies on there. Yeah, you can boil eggs in advance. You can chop up your little veggie sticks in advance, that sort of thing. Yep. So, yeah, it's about new habits. The thing that we're trying to teach you is more about the habits behind the food. So although there is a way of eating to lose fat and to build muscle, you need to get into the habit of understanding how to create that food, how to learn to prepare the food, what it's going to look like on the plate, that sort of thing. Once you've built that habit, it just becomes part of who you are, and the food is amazing. So we get feedback all the time. Now, there's a couple of things that people don't like because people have different preferences and whatever, but most of the feedback is that the food is absolutely amazing, and we, as I said, ladies are still eating it 9 months later because they love them so much. Okay, any other questions? You're most welcome, Holly. Any other questions? Anyone on Insta? I'm trying to see. Nobody's asking any questions on Insta. You're all just stalking. That's okay. You can stalk away. That's fine. So if you have any more questions, I think I've answered the eating for fat loss. We've talked about kettlebells and equipment. The other question I tend to get asked about equipment is what other equipment or supplements or anything like that you will need. So you don't have to buy any supplements if you don't want to. 100%. You don't have to buy any other equipment if you don't want to. But I know women, right? I know women, and really we are super busy. And I have tried to create time-saving, easy solutions because I'm seriously one of the laziest, unmotivated people you'll ever meet. And I say that with love to myself. But it's true. I am super unmotivated and I'm super lazy. I always look for a shortcut. I always look for a quicker way to do this. This is why I love kettlebell training, because it's short, quick, effective workouts, but also why I love our Pruthies and the way that we have created these meals is because you end up eating the same, because this is what we do. We end up eating the same 10 meals over and over once you get used to it. And of course we have a feast day where you can incorporate yummy little snacks. We had our favorite sweet potato brownies that everyone raves on. We've got protein balls. We've got peanut butter protein balls. We've got amazing things that you never will feel hungry because you're eating all the time. But it's about building these habits that make it easy, right? That make it super simple so that you're not having to reinvent the wheel when you're tired, that you're not having to do all of that. So I have I've shortcutted it all for you, basically. I literally have created a way that I can just say for you, eat this, do this, so you almost don't have to think. We do want you to think, and you will learn as you go along. But a lot of the times when you start a new exercise or fitness or body shape change program, yes, you want the information, you want to know the why, you want to know the understanding behind it all, for sure. But at the end of it, you just want to be able to go, I need to just do this, and follow the system, and I will be successful. So it comes down to this. How much do you want it? I am telling you that if you do this and this, you will be successful, right? 100%. It happens. We're just about to release our success from our last... Oh, there's Stacey on board. Yay, Stacey saying the food is awesome. I'm just about to say that we're just about to release our unicorns, and we're getting all the results from our 6-week challenge that we've done, which is the first initial part of the Sexy Strong program. And the reason why we do that is because we want you to build those habits and to try the new food and to do the workouts. And we offer so much accountability in those first 6 weeks because we want you to be successful. We know what it takes to do it. You just have to want it. You just have to want it, have faith in the process, and follow it step by step, right? And there will be times where you're like, this is really hard. Surely it shouldn't be this hard. X, Y, that sort of thing. But that's what happens when change happens. It is hard, right? You can't change without coming up against some obstacles, without coming up against yourself and your self-doubt and can I and will I and all of these sorts of things. But isn't it amazing to know that there's somebody there rooting for you? A whole team of cheerleaders saying, we've got you, we'll help you, we can make it work, right? That's what you get as part of our community. And for the first 6 weeks, we are there with you. We are literally cheering you on and making sure that you're going to be successful. And once you've built those habits, then you can easily plug it in and continue to do that. Yeah? So I think I've answered all of the questions that were sent to me. Any questions that have come in, thank you so much for joining in and coming and listening to our Q&A today. We are going to do one more Q&A tomorrow afternoon in our special tribe community. You can join our tribe community once you register to attend our masterclass. If you go to warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/superhero, we have one more masterclass tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. GMT, which I think is 3 p.m. New York time. And then we have the final one on Wednesday, 4 p.m. GMT, which I think is 12 p.m. Eastern or New York time. And we're doing one more Q&A tomorrow in the Facebook group, right? So you need to get in there. You can access that once you register with that superhero link. So thank you so much for taking the time to come and hear about all of these things. I hope that the information I was able to provide can give you some starting point. If you have any more questions, or you want some reassurance, or you want to talk to an actual person, go ahead and email us at hello@warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com. Also, there's a chat box on our website. My wonderful customer service team, Dia, and sometimes me, are in the chat box answering questions as well on a regular basis to make sure that you have your questions answered. We want to make sure that you know exactly what's needed, or what you need to do, or any of these sorts of things. So thanks so much. I'm going to go now and have a cup of tea. I have been talking for a long time. It feels like I've been doing nothing but talking for a week, but that's okay. I love to talk and I love to connect with you. It's one of my favorite things to do. But if you want to find out more about the Sexy Strong program, if it's for you, if you're on the fence, come on over. Just jump on in. 2 feet, you can do it. Just go to warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/go. I'll put the links underneath this video. You can find the link in the bio for our Instagrammers. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the inside. We're kicking off next Monday and I cannot wait. All right, my lovelies, have a lovely rest of your Monday. And I hope to connect with you in our tribe group or in our Sexy Strong program. Holly's come in with the last question. Yes, Holly, we teach you step by step by step. So there's a video that literally is me, like this, teaching you like you're in your living room going, do this, then you pause the video, you do it, you come back, you do it, right? Then you can click on the links at any time where I'm coaching you and talking you through it. Also, you can post up your videos in our Facebook group of you doing a specific move and I can coach you. And every single month we do a Zoom school, which is via Zoom. We do an online personal training session where we have a very small group doing just individual kettlebell moves, swings or cleans or squats, and we watch you doing it and I can give you feedback instantaneously. So you will never have bad form, you'll never feel diminished or not being able to do something, or have fear of injury or anything like that, because we got you covered. So not only do we provide the videos in a step-by-step way that you can do it anytime, and that virtual coaching you can do it anytime, we give you feedback. You simply record a little video, we give you the feedback, and then once a month we make sure that you're getting the direct feedback from me. So we watch you do it and then give you the feedback, just in a very small group, which is done via Zoom in our little studio that we do it in. So we literally got you covered on all of the angles to make sure that you're doing it right, that you're feeling confident, that you're able to add the weight, and that you're getting the results, which is what it's all about. So thanks for that question. That was a really good one. So thanks so much, ladies. Honestly, I'm so excited. We have so many lovely new ladies joining our Sexy Strong program. We're kicking off next Monday. If you want to find out more about it, you can go to that URL, warriorgoddesskettlebelltraining.com/go. You can come on in and ask some questions in our tribe community. And we still have 2 masterclasses left to go. Yay! All right, thanks everybody who was on, Holly and everybody else who asked questions. I hope I got answers to those questions for you, and I will see you in the tribe group or in a masterclass in the next day or so. All right, love to you all. Peace out.